Hello, everybody. How are you guys? We're here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. We're having so much fun out here, guys. The sun is coming up. It's going to be another hot day, probably 90, 91 right there. But doesn't matter. We're having fun, and we're talking about the different communities in town. Now, I don't know these communities. I'm a visitor from a foreign land, from the other side of the world called Los Angeles. And I've just been meeting people in town that are sharing stories with me that I'm relaying to you guys. And wow, some of the things we're finding out about Atlanta. Woo! Unbelievable. I had no idea. I had no idea all this was going on in Atlanta. So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to talk about some of the communities in the area, some of their history, how they developed, why. These videos go 10, 15 minutes, something like that. But, you know, hang around as long as you can and come back. So in this case, like I said, I don't know. I mean, I was at a home entertainment store looking at some mobile units, and some dude and I started talking, and he had on a T-shirt that said "Toko Hills or Bust." And I'm like, what the heck is that? And he said it was a neighborhood here in town, and we started talking about it. I had mentioned the videos, and he said you got to talk about Toko Hills. So all right, we'll do it. So these three communities we're going to talk about here in this video are Toko Hills, Mary Hills, and Briarcliff Heights. Now, these communities are in these sort of northeast part of Atlanta, along the 23 freeway or road, the 155, if that means anything to you. Now, Toko Hills is named after a dude named Toko, and Toko was so his originally way back in the day. And remember, Atlanta's a very old town. People don't realize Atlanta's a very old town. I mean, it has a lot of history that people know about that springs to mind when they think of the city. But you have to think even farther back than that. And Toko was his first name. His last name was Taco. So Taco was the guy that started Toko Hills, or at least came up with the original concept of the town, of the neighborhood, is really what it is. So Taco, he came to the United States in 1800, started Toko Hills in 1810, and the original idea was a community that would draw, and you see this a lot today in a newer version in some of the hipster areas of town, but he wanted to have a food hall, not necessarily a food court like you see in a mall, but a food hall. And you see this at like the Krog Street Market, or in Columbus, Ohio, for example, the North Street Market. You know what I mean? A food hall where you go and there's all kinds of different restaurants in one place. And that was the original. He envisioned the Toko Taco food market. That's what so you could just walk around, and maybe you wanted pasta, maybe you wanted Chinese, who knows? Maybe you're just going to walk around and sample stuff and find out what works best for you and get that, and maybe come back tomorrow and have something completely different. It's a great idea, and he was one of the first. I don't know if he was the first or not, but as I understand it, he was the first in this area. So his idea was then to draw people to the community and then grow the community from the market itself. So again, even though it's in northeast Atlanta or maybe east Atlanta, however you term where it is now, at the time it was in the boonies. So you had to have something good to draw somebody out there to eat lunch. And so he worked with different businesses, different restaurants, and he even had a food delivery service, guys, kind of like a Postmates, or maybe a DoorDash or one of those, Grubhub. They had horses that would run the food out to your farm, to your ranch, to your homestead, to your your shack. And you had to pay a premium, of course, and you should tip. Should always tip those guys. And so this guy was an innovator, and he developed the entire residential area based on a food court, not a food court. That's simplifying it, a food market. And a lot of people don't know that the modern food court of what you might see in a hipster area was based on the innovations that Taco developed for Toko Hills in the early days. And as a food aficionado, as somebody that has had too many calories in his life, I tip my hat to helping me develop the unhealthy lifestyle that I have now. I tip my hat to Toko Taco. Now, of course, in that area is also Merry Hills. Merry, Merry Hills. So how do you feel after you have a big plate of pasta with tomatoes and garlic? How do you feel when you have 2 slices of the best pizza in your area, of the area of your town? How do you feel when you eat your favorite food, your favorite comfort food that takes you back to your childhood? You feel happy, you feel merry, and that's how Merry Hills developed their name. It was a state of satiety, how do you say it? After eating your best meal. So these were a lot of the people that were ordering food from Toko Hills delivered to their area. Now, in those days, it didn't have a name. Okay, it was just an area of Atlanta. It was another neighborhood. But so many people loved the food that Toko Taco was vending out of Toko Hills and delivering up to their area. They said, we gotta name our neighborhood. Somebody said Happy Hills. Somebody said Satisfied Hills. Somebody said Smiling Hills, which I kind of liked that one. Smiling Hills. Why didn't they go with that? But who knows? It's history. It goes back in time. We don't know what decisions were made or why back then. But we do know a little bit. And Merry Hills was what they came up with for 2 reasons. One, they wanted to suggest that they were close by great food, and therefore your delivery fees would be low. Okay, they thought that would attract residents. And 2, they thought that during certain festive times of year, okay, let's say the Christmas holiday, that they were already had a built-in hook, and that's probably true. Okay, so Merry Hills suggests a festive time of the year, and that tends to loosen the pocketbooks. People will tend to spend more if they are already in a good mood. So by suggesting the neighborhood of Merry Hills, now when you head into that area, already you're looking to spend money. So it was very good marketing on the part of Merry Hills. And to this day, if you drive around there, and I've been through there several times, and you look around, people look like they're having fun. They're happy, they're festive. Some people are wearing Santa hats. Some people are wearing antlers, okay? And it's the middle of summer. So either these people have a screw loose, which is fine. I totally understand. I've got a few loose myself. Try to tighten them up once a week, go in for a tightening. But it's smart, and to this day, it's one of the bright spots of the town because everybody's so happy, and they walk around, they hug each other, give each other high five, and they might even say the Merry Hills slogan. Okay, they had a contest about what would be the city slogan for Merry Hills, and it's not a city, it's a neighborhood, but nonetheless. Here's a couple of them that didn't make it. One was Merry Hills, break out your checkbook. That didn't, I just thought it was a little too cynical. Merry Hills, your home for savings. It's too commercial. So they went with Merry Hills, Where Your Heart Will Sing. And that felt light and fun and friendly, and that one is the one they stuck with. And finally, guys, in this roundup, I think I mentioned Briarcliff Heights, and Briarcliff Heights is so cool because it's a band of homes above 400-foot cliffs that overlook the areas we mentioned, Toko Hills and Merry Hills, and some of the other neighborhoods that we'll talk about in other videos. So here you have these cool homes, these interesting old Victorian mansions towering above the area on 400-foot cliffs. So they can see all through the Atlanta area, from Midtown all the way down. And if they turn around and look over their shoulder without straining their neck, they can see Sandy Springs. So it's almost like a tower, in a sense, this plot of land. Now, it's not that small and narrow. It's a rise, it's a hill, that's why they call it Briarcliff Heights. And of course, as you can imagine, back in the day, in the 1800s, when they first started developing the area, rich people liked it. They liked the views, they liked the land, and it tends to have a higher income up there. A lot of the homes up there are at the higher end of the market for Atlanta, and that's just the way that it developed. But you can't take away the geography of it, right? The topography, the unbelievable views. And that's why they let regular people drive around up there. Now, you can't go off the main roads. They don't want you traipsing around and stepping on flowers and making a mess, okay? Throwing your wrappers or your cigarette butts everywhere. They're not going to have it, okay? In fact, they have a little Zamboni machine that runs around and sweeps up after regular people have been through the neighborhood, regular normal people like you and me. But they do like to have us up there because it reminds them of what they don't want to become. They don't want to become... Let's put it this way. If you were to knock on the door of a rich person up there and ask them if they knew how to shop at the grocery store and use the self-checkout, their mind would freeze over. Okay, their head would explode. They don't know what first of all, they don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean shop for myself? I don't even know what you mean, right? That's if they'd even open the door. Okay, they probably wouldn't even open the door, and that's probably good in this day and age. All right, and plus they don't know you. I don't know you. Maybe maybe you like pineapple on your pizza. Like, we can't trust you. We can't trust you with your decisions. So who knows what you're going to do up there. But we're getting off the track. Briarcliff, it's not just this views up there. It's the rolling hills. It's the Georgia pines. It's the crisp, fresh air in the morning when you go for a run with your $1,000 dog beside you. Okay? It's the custom boots you can buy at the Briarcliff Heights Mall. It's the red fox hunting coat that you can have made when the tailor drives up to your house for your custom fitting right in your house. So it's a certain lifestyle. There's a certain level of living up there. And beyond that, it's a throwback to the past. So in a lot of ways, it's a look at a genteel lifestyle that has sort of escaped modern life due to the hustle and bustle, the crisscross of the freeways, cars traveling, trucks rumbling, just the chaos of modern life. It's forgotten once you climb the 400-foot cliffs of Briarcliff Heights. And I'm not talking about rappelling them with ropes. I'm just saying driving up there. Because like I say, they'll let you up there. Now, you do have to leave by nightfall. They don't want regular people, strolling around up there in the nighttime. Who knows what they'll do. They'll knock over a mailbox or something. But a great area of town, and what a rich history throughout that whole region. And we're going to talk about other areas in future videos, places like Biltmore Acres, North Druid Hills and all that stuff. It's such a great town, Atlanta. We're having so much fun. And again, I'm not an expert. I learned a lot of this information from people I just meet at the laundromat or the home improvement store buying nails, or at the home entertainment store where I'm looking at buying SD cards for my GoPro, or I'm just out there in life. I get in the channels of life and I start swimming. And people are naturally attracted to my curiosity and good nature. And they just open up. I don't know what it is, guys. People just talk to me like I'm their favorite friend that they've known all their life. It's happened to me since I was a kid. It's just what happens to me, and I take advantage of that, and I say, do you mind if I put these stories in my video? And they say, not only do we not mind, I want you to. Right? They want me to put these stories in my videos. Because they know it's going to reach a wide audience with the YouTube worldwide access. People in, I don't know, little cities, little towns in Italy. They can say, hey, did you see the video Joe put up about Briarcliff Estates, Briarcliff Heights? Is that Italian accent? And they say, no, I didn't see it yet. I'm going to run home and see it. See? So people in Italy can see these videos about this great town of Atlanta that everybody loves. I've never met one person that goes, "Oh, Atlanta, come on, you got to be kidding me, Joe, Atlanta, of all the places on the face of the earth, Atlanta." No one has ever said that. They've all go, "Oh yeah, we love it over there." Because it's got a place for everybody, and it's on the move. That's the other thing about Atlanta, guys. It's on the move. You could say credibly, it's the new home of hip hop, the new headquarters of hip hop. You could say that it's the new Hollywood. You could say it's the new Hollywood. A lot of people look askance, and where I live, they look away when you say that. But come on. A lot of movies being made out of here, guys. So this is the action town, the town of happenings, the town of movers and shakers, and we're going to cover every inch of it as much as I can while I'm here for a few days and come back for more videos.